through time at our ancestors in any age, the seasons and the time of the year must have been really central to everything, whether it's the harvest, or you're hunkered down in winter, or you're getting ready to plant, or it's summer and life is just a little bit easier. You would feel that every day in your life, and really in your bones and your blood.
Mm,
And now we are so separated from that in a lot of ways. The
mm,
rhythm of our days is set by appointments. We run on a cycle of kind of a week. You've got
mm.
your weekdays and your weekends. And it's interesting to even consider, like, I can feel that shift in my body, to consider running at a different pace, running at the actual pace of the world.
Just in the last month, I've been enjoying so much the feeling of autumn. When you go outside, and the quality, and if you tune in, it's so delicious, is the only way I can think of it. This sort of, the light is different, uh, even if the sunshine is bright and you're sitting outside and it's warm, so it could be the summer, it's not. There's just a different feeling in the air, and it's the autumn, and it's got a special quality, and that can feed you. You can deliberately drink it in and circulate it through your energy field in your body.
I love just kind of soaking in some of these descriptions. I've been taking a lot of walks outside and really noticing the seasons myself
Yeah.
personally, especially through the pandemic, as our rhythms that we were used to change. And I feel like paying attention to what season it is and where I am in that season feels very stabilizing. Feels like, yeah, please.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say it's really interesting with the pandemic, because of course it's been terrible and awful and all the rest of it, but there have been some silver linings to it, and one of them has been people's appreciation of nature, and of being forced to have the time, as it were, to get out into nature, to go for walks for their sanity, and discovering so many people have said, just locally in our town, when we meet people walking or whatever, saying people are discovering new paths, they're discovering the kind of beauties of the local landscape that they just, even if they've lived here for 20 years, they hadn't appreciated, because whenever they had a break, they'd hop on a plane and go somewhere else. And now, here's the thing, now we're going into autumn, and so a common feeling is, oh my God, I could cope with this when it was the summer, because even though we had lockdowns and restrictions, I could get out. What am I going to do if we go into a second wave of the epidemic and there are lockdowns and so on, but it's the winter, the autumn and the winter? Well, my answer to that is, you've got to go with it. Don't fight this, otherwise you're just going to make yourself miserable. So what you do is you adopt this positive mindset of saying, oh wow, now I have the chance to really appreciate the autumn and the onset of autumn, and really tune into all its finer detail, and the different colors of the leaves, and the different quality of the light, and the different smells in the air, right the way through the winter. So if this is going to go on through the winter, I'm just going to really work with it, and then emerge out into the spring the next year.
I am a California girl living in the frozen north, and we always kind of have this attitude of, oh, winter is coming here. But this winter is interesting because there's a little bit of a sentiment like maybe it's really not that different. When you live somewhere really, really cold, winter is a time for natural interning. It's a time to get a little bit more quiet and notice the sparkling effect on the leaves, and notice the still and quiet things, and really be present to maybe some of the more difficult emotions that are happening inside. And I think it's interesting to watch, with us being trapped inside, you have almost a climate difference. And I wonder if winter won't help everyone to more naturally experience that interning.
Exactly, because the other process you have, which is really interesting in terms of what's called emotional literacy, of having the words to describe feelings. And what science says is that if you don't have enough words to describe all the nuances of feelings, that's a real handicap. So One good example is if you talk to a bunch of people about the onset of autumn or winter, and they might say that they're feeling depressed, or they have a feeling of depression, a light feeling of. If you go into detail, what they're actually tuning into is that kind of autumn tristesse, if you like, sadness, which isn't personal. It's kind of out there. It's to do with the less light coming, and so on. And it's actually rather beautiful if you don't make it personal. If you tune in to this quality of softening and changing, then it's you identify it, and you don't have to lump it in with, oh, I must be feeling depressed. It's actually, no, I'm just tuning into this change in the atmosphere.